Your thoughts on the Open this year for yourself?
I mean, obviously, really excited to be here. It's like the biggest week for the U.S. players. Always extra, not only is it a slam, always extra importance just for the Americans. So practicing well, feeling good, hoping to have a big week.
Great, thank you. Questions, Matt?
How's it going, Taylor? I'm Matt Futterman from The Athletic. Jess was in here before, and she was saying that she was talking to Marcus, who said that his theory was that Jess was doing better because she didn't stay in the village at the Olympics. And I remember you kept saying, we're grinding in the village. I was sort of curious, how have you felt since then? And, any thoughts on maybe you should have gone with Jess to the hotel?
I mean, I think it's amazing how well she's doing, kind of just coming from the Olympics. I think it helps a bit. She had probably a couple extra days to be in Toronto to get acclimated than we did, because we were there on like the last day, had to stay an extra day and leave. But no, it's amazing how well she's doing, because she's literally the only person that played the Olympics that like is having, I guess, good results. Like anyone else that's had good results that did the Olympics, they were out on one of the first days, and they actually had some time to get ready for Montreal. But yeah, it's been very tough as far as preparation goes, just coming from the Olympics and then playing Montreal, Cincinnati, especially with how fast both tournaments felt. Just coming from the clay was not ideal.
Hi, Taylor. Lucas Weiss with The Athletic. You made your first slam quarterfinal here at the U.S. Open a year ago. Then you had 2 slam quarterfinals since then. I'm curious just what confidence did that give you last year at this event for then this year?
Yeah, it was my first slam, I guess, quarterfinal here. But I mean, it's just a good feeling. I think last year I was coming in here just felt like I just needed a result at a slam, because the slam results were just really poor last year. So I feel like I needed a good result, and this year the slam results have been pretty solid. I feel like I've been performing well at the slams, playing 3 out of 5 sets. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling I guess pretty confident about just, I don't know, playing in the big tournaments right now.
Cindy?
Hey, Taylor. You're coming off the Olympics. You go from here to the Laver Cup, so 2 teamed competitions sandwiched with the U.S. Open in between. How valuable are these team events for you in such an individual sport?
I personally just enjoy it a lot, because I love being around the team. I love being around all the guys at Laver Cup. I think it's a lot of fun. It's just something that kind of breaks up the year, and always something that I just feel like I look forward to and have a lot of fun at. So it's something different, that we don't get to experience that often.
There was a question in the back. Do you have a question?
Sure. Levin Cabas, Sportico. Curious your thoughts on some of the night matches that tend to finish very late at the U.S. Open, like 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m. Would you do anything to change that from happening at majors? Have you played in one of those matches? What was your experience?
I don't think I've ever played one here that's gone that late. I'd say the positive thing about it happening here is you're always going to have the next day off. I think it's probably a more pressing issue at a lot of other tournaments where that happens and you have to come back and play the next day. I think that's pretty crazy. I think you can get away with it a bit more at a slam when you have the next day off, to be honest. But sometimes it can be helped. They can schedule differently, and then sometimes it can't be helped. You have those days sometimes where it's just the women play long 3-setters, the men play long 5-setters. They just stack and stack and stack on a court, and in situations like that, sometimes there's not much that can be done.
Howard?
Taylor, I want to ask you 2 completely unrelated things. One is, you, like most tennis players, know how difficult it is to try to win one Grand Slam title. What enters your mind? What do you think about when you picture the number 25 that Djokovic is now trying to get to, with 24?
Yeah, it's crazy to win that many, and be that consistently just good. Like your just baseline average level is just has to be so much better than everyone else's. It's, it speaks to how much better someone is than everyone else, because there are so many people just trying to get that one, trying to get one or two, a couple, but yeah, it's amazing, and obviously the discipline throughout the years to never be satisfied and always want more is also just extremely impressive in itself.
The other thing I just wanted to ask about, I have a colleague working on a story looking at pickleball and its increasing popularity. I'm just curious, do you think tennis needs to be worried at all about the explosion of popularity of pickleball?
Not really. I mean, I think there's some people in the tennis world that are just absolute pickleball haters, and that's fine. But for me, like I don't really have an issue with pickleball. Like I like playing sometimes. It's fine. I don't see any reason why both of them can't exist.
Okay. Bill.
Hi, Taylor. You obviously have been the best Southern California player for a while, but Southern Californians are doing really well these days. Alex is having a real good season. Brandon's sort of strong comeback. Lerner's coming on. Sajda from La Jolla, he's doing great. Could you just talk about those guys and give us something about the culture of tennis in Southern Cal?
Yeah, it's impressive. We have so many guys, and especially just myself, Zach, and Brandon. That's just San Diego as well. So it's interesting, but it's obviously great weather for tennis, and it's been great to see how good these guys I've known since they were much younger, and because obviously I am the oldest by a bit of all those guys, so I've seen them kind of come up as like 15, 16, 17, and always knew hitting with them when they were younger that these guys could play, and these guys were good. So yeah, it's great to have just a lot of guys kind of repping for SoCal.
Can you just talk about the vibe of Southern California tennis? You must have heard quite a bit about it, and when you were growing up, but just when you go around, just the feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone kind of knows that it's one of the stronger sections, I guess, in juniors. I feel like I was always pretty proud of my Southern California ranking, even though it's such a small section of the whole country. You felt like it was one of the toughest sections, I guess, along with like Florida and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, it's great weather, a lot of tournaments. Parents would drive me up to LA quite a bit to play, and some tournaments in San Diego too. But yeah, I mean, it's one of the strongest junior sections for tennis.
Willie, last question.
Taylor, what are your thoughts about the Jannik Sinner matter?
I mean, it's tough to say. Everyone's gonna have, I guess, everyone's gonna have their own opinion, but it's pretty irrelevant at the end of the day, because what the truth of the matter is always going to be between him and his team. And, I trust that whoever, like, the whole investigative process was done properly. I think the only thing I will say is I think there's a lot of people that get suspended and can't play for a while because they either miss their tests, the random testing, which, by the way, whatever someone might tell you, like, it's not that hard to miss a test or two. And so people get banned off missing 3 of those. It's kind of hard to miss a third one. You should probably lock it down once you get 2 strikes, but there's crazy situations where that happens. So, I think a lot of people get banned for unfortunate reasons, and I guess in this ruling they've found that it's different, and there's no ban, and I trust that he wasn't at fault or purposely doing anything. I just think that it should be consistent across the board with bans and who gets banned, who doesn't get banned, who gets suspended, doesn't get suspended.
Thank you. Thank you, Taylor.